No caben dudas de que X fue una de las gratas sorpresas que nos dejó el terror del 2022 y con Eliot Rockett, su director de fotografía, hablamos sobre cómo fue hacer esta gran película protagonizada por Mia Goth. También, obviamente, desglosamos algunos de los secretos detrás de esos trucos que nos hicieron creer que Mia también podía ser Pearl. Todo esto en este informe sobre X.
We now return to Mira Akien and Contre with our latest interview.
We sort of felt that the movie itself shouldn't just be a period movie in the sense that what was going on inside the movie is from a different time, but the whole thing itself should feel like an artifact from that time.
Our days of struggling may soon be over.
Hollywood, here we come.
We looked at a lot of stuff, a lot of movies, a lot of horror movies and other movies from around that same period, the late 70s, and came up with a sort of packet of this is sort of the world of a movie of this kind from that time, and we'll make it look like that. On a physical level, I tried to use largely the lighting equipment that would have been available at that time. There was a few modern things, but for the most part, it was a lot of old tungsten lights and old HMI Fresnels and stuff like that. So that helps a lot. I cheated a little bit, used some LED fixtures, but not very many, and then adding a little bit of grain and defocus later in the post process. The part of the whole thing also with the movie was not doing really any computer generated visual effects. Like the vast majority of everything was done practically on set, like for instance, when what's his name is walking through the barn and steps on the nail. That was a piece of wood with like a foil nail. So it looked very real, but it was very soft. And then there was a little bit of glue on the wood so that when his foot went down, he could just smash the nail and then pick it up like that, and the board stuck to it, And so, Ty really didn't want to do, he did much like the movies from that era. Again, it was like, we should do this practically. We should do everything, the kind of way it was done, and make it be that kind of a movie, not like how kind of the approach is generally today. A number of those like when RJ gets killed, when he gets stabbed, and then she's sitting on top of him, stabbing him, and then you see him blood with his neck all bloody. That was actually achieved with a stuntman with his head back in a hole in the ground, and then a fake RJ head sitting on top of that, and blood tubes and that sort of thing. The whole deal with getting stuck in the eyes was done with several different pieces, and there was a head made with a removable eye, and then a kind of a slide thing that had the forks of the pitchfork that all got set up right there at the barn wall for that close-up when it goes right into him. And then the moment before, when you're looking at and when it goes crashing into his eye through the hole, that was done with this probe lens, and so like an inch in diameter that we stuck through the hole and got real close to the actor's eye, and then pulled it out, and then we ran it in reverse to do that.
Maxine?
When they were creating that makeup, and it was before we started filming, and they did it the first time on her in a trailer. Well, this is going to work. Like, you just look like this, even in person. It was really startled. It was like 6 or more hours for her in the chair getting that done, And then for us, it was like all the scenes that involved her and Maxine, of course, were things that we had to shoot over separate days. We'd have like day one would be Mia as Maxine, and then her double would be in like some of the Pearl makeup, so we could do like over the shoulder shots and have like Pearl foreground a little bit. And then, day 2, we have to come back and do the scene again in the opposite configuration with Mia as Pearl and, the whole thing. So that, it was a little bit tedious, but it wasn't terrible. It was more work, obviously, than if you just had 2 people in the movie. You know what I mean? 2 separate actors playing the 2 roles. But it was pretty well planned out.
What do you think is on it? I see one goddamn fucked up horror picture.